What's going on, guys? It's Kyle here, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome back to a brand new movie review. So today's film I'm going to review is 2019's The Lighthouse. That's right, guys, The Lighthouse. I finally saw The Lighthouse, and I am so happy to tell you that it is definitely going to be in my top 10 favorite films of 2019. So The Lighthouse stars Robert Pattinson and Willem Dafoe, and it's about these two men that are basically stuck on this lighthouse/island, and they go by day getting their chores done, but the one man is fascinated with something, and the other man wants to know what's so fascinating about it, and it just spirals and spirals and spirals into an awesome climax. All you have to know is that it's black and white, has a very small aspect ratio, and is filled and brimming with phenomenal performances from both actors. So let's talk about the pros. Of course, there really isn't any cons, but I think we'll talk about the cons first. There's like one con in the entire film, and I think it's maybe just how jarring it is. The film is filmed on 35mm film, so it's very grainy. The aspect ratio is like 1:9:119. It's very small. It's like letterbox, like size, almost like a square. It's bizarre. And it's in black and white. Yes, it's in black and white, and it's mainly all dialogue. There's like a couple parts in the film where you're like, whoa, that's weird and creepy, but it's mainly dialogue, and it's riveting throughout the entire thing. And seeing it on a theater screen is a little jarring because, you know, a theater screen is supposed to be very big. You're supposed to go to the theater to see it on a big screen, and when you have to watch it in this tiny little aspect ratio, it is very jarring, and it took a little bit to get used to, but once I got into it, man, I was all in. Alright, let's talk about the pros. Number one, of course, the one thing I can tell you about this film that you're going to love, even if you don't like the story, if you don't like how weird it is, if you don't like how slow it is, you are going to love the performances in this film. Like I said, this film stars Robert Pattinson, you know, Golden Boy, Twilight Boy. I mean, that's what he's not considered, but when I was younger, yeah, that's all I knew Robert Pattinson was from Twilight, and I hated Twilight because it was so annoying. All the girls would talk about it, and it was so annoying, and it's like, oh my god, I don't see the big whoop about it. But then I saw him in Good Time, and I'm like, this guy can act, and now I'm all sold. I cannot wait to see more from him. And also stars Willem Dafoe, which if you don't know who Willem Dafoe is, how are you alive right now? And if you've not even seen a single movie, it seems. But Willem Dafoe stars in this film, and he has the thickest accent I've ever seen in a film. So that is another gripe about it, I should say, is that it's a little hard to understand some of the people because of how jarring their accent is, or his accent rather. But the performances in this film and the camaraderie between Robert Pattinson's character and Willem Dafoe's character is some of the best I've seen in the last decade. The way they go off of each other, the way that they reflect conversations back and forth, and the way that they talk is just so interesting and fun to watch. Because they're two polar opposite people. Yeah, Willem Dafoe's character, he's very loud, he's very outspoken, he talks a lot, well, I almost gave something away. He just talks a lot and everything. And then you got Robert Pattinson's character. He's more like subverted. He's very introvert. He doesn't talk very much. He's very quiet. And when he does talk, it is loud and explosive, and he is very emotional at times. Oh, hey Kyle, you forgot to mention one thing. I wanted to mention real quick that Robert Pattinson's character has a lot of depth in this film. More depth than Willem Dafoe's character. I wanted to touch on that a little bit. That's another part I really loved about his character, was how much depth and much backstory there is to him that you learn throughout the film. Anyways, get back to your shit, Kyle. And the way that they just play off of each other is so interesting to watch. Pro number two is the cinematography. Oh my god, the cinematography. It's not very, like, stylistic. There's a couple of cool movements with the camera, but that's about it. It's mainly just about the composition of the shot and just how beautiful the look at it is. I mean, even though this film is shot in black and white and is barely able to see anything, it's beautiful, and like any shot you could take from this film, you can make it into a painting. The third pro is the pacing. I legit, when I first saw the trailer, I made the mistake and saw the trailer. When I saw the trailer, it looked like a slow, boring drag. It'll have a couple weird moments and then have a really dumb ending. But when I tell you the pacing went by like a 5 minutes, I'm not joking. This is such a well-paced film. It is slow when it needs to be, and when it is slow, it takes its time, and it expands the characters and develops them when they talk and conversate and talk about things in their personal life. It really feels so organic and it's paced perfectly. Well, the film is about an hour and 50 minutes, but it really felt like an hour long. It just went by so fast. That, and I was just like so captivated by whatever was happening on the screen. Like, once you are in this movie, once you sit down and watch it, you are immersed completely. The first shot of this film got me immersed so quickly. I was like, is this what I'm looking at? Actually, funny story, my mom didn't. I went to go saw this with my mom, and she doesn't normally like the weird kind of movies as much as I do. Obviously, I'm wearing a Clockwork Orange shirt. I love weird shit. But she's more of the, you know, the more mainstream type of person. But she does sometimes like to watch the other typical art film. And she actually liked it too, which I was not surprised by, but it was funny. In the very first 5 minutes of the film, we sit down in the theater, and the trailers go by, and the film was about to start. She goes, "You didn't tell me this is black and white. You didn't tell me this isn't a really small ass. You didn't really tell me it was going to be this small. I'm going to go to sleep." And she ended up loving it, so there you go. If my mom, a person who hates art films and hates pretentious shit like that, liked it, I think you can like it too. The fourth pro is the writing. This is a very well written film. The dialogue floats like a boat. It spreads like butter. It is phenomenal to listen to, especially when it's acted so well by Robert Pattinson and Willem Dafoe's characters. The last pro is the sound and score. I think everyone, after watching this video, of course, should go up and look on YouTube the Lighthouse movie score. It is just, well, no, actually, if you're planning on seeing the film, don't even listen to the score. I had no clue what the score sounded like before even going into the film, and I was just blown away. The score, it's one spoiler, it's nothing too big. The score is the first thing you hear in this film, and it grabs you and pulls you in. That is it. Once you hear that score, you are in. It is a beautiful yet haunting score, and that also moves me to the sound design. The sound design on this film is so phenomenal. I can't even really explain it that well, because it was shot with mono sound, apparently. That means one channel, obviously, if you're a tech nerd. But it was like one channel sound, yet it felt so like gravitating and thunderous whenever the score came on. It was a very, very unique experience. If I had one more con, it'd probably be how dumb I am. I didn't really understand the most of it. It was really kind of I'm trying so hard not to say anything. It's a very weird film at times, and that means you have to be paying attention very much. Like, if you look away for a second, if you go get some popcorn or a refill, if you go to the bathroom, you're fucked. You can't get back into the movie. You've missed something. Every single line of dialogue means something to the story and needs to happen, because if you don't listen to that, or if you don't hear it, you don't know what the fuck's gonna happen in the later path. The last pro, which I can tell you for the absolute fact, is the last shot in this film is the best shot, the best final shot of any film in 2019. I was left speechless by the final shot of the film. I am not even joking when I say that. I'm not hyping it up. I was legit left speechless. My mom was like, "What'd you think? What'd you think?" I'm sitting there watching the credits like, this fucking thing's a masterpiece. So that's my thoughts on it. Obviously I'm really hyping this up, but I'm really not, because this is honestly my opinion, and I feel a lot of people will agree if you actually go and take your money and take your time to go see this. If there is a theater near you that is like maybe at least 30 to an hour minute drive, it is worth the drive. If you love art films and you love weird shit and you love great performances and you love Robert Eggers, because that's another great thing, is the directing by Robert Eggers. He is a phenomenal new director, and I cannot wait to see more from this guy. Then you need to take that drive and go and see this film. I promise you, it's worth it. Alright, well, that's my review of the 2019 film, The Lighthouse. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you did, remember to leave a like and subscribe to see similar content just like this. Also, don't forget to follow my socials, my Instagram, my Stardust, and my Letterboxd down below in the description box for extra content. Thank you so much for watching this video. Have a phenomenal and great day, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!